welcome once again to the cars of Grand Theft Auto. And today, I'll be taking a look at the list of vehicles that are set to appear in the upcoming Lowlife DLC. I'll be talking about what they might look like and how they could possibly perform. But, before I begin, I guess I should talk about what exactly the Lowlife DLC is, for those of you who haven't heard of it. Well, a few months ago, it was discovered that there is a hidden file in the source coding, codenamed Low, and in that file was a list of cars. Some of them were from GTA 4, while others appear to be alternate versions of existing cars in GTA 5. Now, because the file was named Low, it has led many people to believe that this is going to be a Low Rider DLC. But some people believe the low could be referring to a lowly lifestyle, and that the cars are going to be insanely cheap. Personally, I think it could go either way. But let's not waste any more time and talk about the cars found on this list. The first car on the list is the Faction, a car that is loosely based on the Buick GNX from GTA 4. In fact, I talked about this car like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, it's going to have two variations. I assume one will have a T-top, and the other will probably be something completely new. Personally, I don't care which version they go with. I just hope that this car is fast enough to compete in online racing. I swear, if this car turns out to be dead slow, I am going to be so pissed off. The next car on the list is the Moonbeam 2. This was the Chevrolet-inspired minivan that appeared in GTA 4 alongside the Faction. Now, I'll admit, the Moonbeam is definitely an odd choice to bring back. However, I think they're only doing it to add some variety to their van lineup. Because, I'll be honest, a lot of the vans in GTA 5, they all look the same. Well, except for the minivan and the BF Surfer, but that's about it. In terms of performance, I'm guessing the Moonbeam isn't going to be very fast. I mean, it wasn't very fast in previous installments, and I can only imagine it won't be very fast in this installment. However, what the Moonbeam lacks in performance, it can easily make up for in visual modifications. You see, in GTA 4, there were a lot of different variations of this vehicle. Some had a ladder, some had a tire, and some were a camper van with a custom grille. And all versions of this van have a two-tone paint job. So yeah, it would be a lot of fun to customize. The next car on our list is our first variation of an existing vehicle found in GTA 5, and that is the Primo 2. Now, just like the Moonbeam, this is a very odd choice. You see, the Primo isn't exactly a very popular car, largely due to the body style. It's based on a 90s Cadillac and looks like something my grandma would drive. However, to be fair, it does have decent performance and some really fun visual modifications, so making an alternate version really isn't that crazy. As for what the alternate version might look like, I imagine it's gonna either be newer or older, but still retain some of the same customization features, and its performance will probably much be the same. Personally though, I would like to see this car as a two-door convertible, put it in the muscle car class, and give it slightly better performance, so it's able to compete in online racing. The car on the list is the Sabre GT, and out of all the vehicles on this list, this one confuses me the most. You see, this car comes from GTA 4, but it reappeared in GTA 5, now under the name Sabre Turbo. I'm under the impression that it's either going to be a unique model of the Sabre Turbo, or it could possibly be the Monte Carlo-based Sabre that also appeared in GTA 4. The next car up is the Virgo 2. Now, the Virgo recently appeared in the Ill-Gotten Gains update. It's stylish and quite popular, so I could see them doing another variation on it. As to what it could look like, well, there are a few possibilities. It could be a 4-door, it could be a 2-door, it could be a modern interpretation, or they could go back to the old style found in GTA 4, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. As for its performance, I'm guessing it's going to be about the same as it is currently. Next up is the Chino 2. Now, just like the Virgo, the Chino was part of the Ill-Gotten Gains update. It's stylish, and it has a lot of fun visual modifications, so making another variation on it does make sense. As to what it could look like, well, I've been hearing rumors that the car might be a four-door. And yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. The only question is, will it still be considered a muscle car? As a lot of the cars in that category are all two-door. I'm guessing it's probably going to be moved to either the sedans or the sports classics. Personally, I think it should have been in the sports classics to begin with. As far as its performance goes, it's probably going to be about the same, maybe slower. Next, we have a fan favorite that I know a lot of people have been begging Rockstar to bring back to GTA, and that is the Clean Voodoo. As the name suggests, this version of the Voodoo is not dirty, nor is it rusty. Unfortunately, while Rockstar might improve the appearance, I highly doubt they're going to improve the performance. The way I see it, it's probably going to be just as slow as the current Voodoo, which is a real shame because this looks like the type of car people might actually want to race. If it was up to me, I would give it the same performance as the Blade. Next up, we have the Buccaneer 2. Now, out of all the cars you can make a secondary variation of, the Buccaneer is a good choice, as I see a lot of possibilities. It could be a convertible, it could be an older model, a newer model, a four-door, or maybe even a station wagon. Granted, I don't know how many people would want a station wagon variation, but it's an idea. I could also see this car getting some very unique custom parts. As far as the performance goes, I would imagine it would stay largely the same. I just hope they fix the handling because this car does not have the greatest handling, and it really hurts it when it comes to online racing. Next up is the Tornado 5. And yes, there are 4 other existing versions of the Tornado. In case you've forgotten what they are, there's the hardtop, the convertible, the rusty version, and of course, the Mariachi Tornado. So what could they do for a 5th version? The way I see it, there are 2 possibilities. It's either going to be a 4-door, or it's going to be a Nomad station wagon. Personally, I would go for that one. I can also see it getting some unique customization parts, and as for its performance, well, I guess it's going to be largely the same as the existing Tornado. And last but not least, we have the Slam Van 3. Now I'm fairly certain that this is actually going to be a clean version of the Lost MC Slam Van. Although I would imagine that the logos and decals will still show up in car customization. As for its performance, well, I imagine it's going to stay the same. My question is, what class is it going to go into? I mean, in the game it's classified as muscle, but this vehicle is an actual van, so it has me wondering if Rockstar is going to change their mind and put it in the van's class. Speaking of car classifications, that's something I'm going to have to talk about in a future video. Anyway, those are all the cars that should be showing up in the next DLC. Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think these cars are going to look like? How do you think they're going to perform? And what kind of visual modifications would you give them? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you next week.